Utopian was initially, this idea was conceived, it was every single thing that's being experienced each and every day. To have a brick and mortar establishment where students are thriving, where a community has taken pride and has stood behind to say, this is our own. I think that there's so much more for Utopian that the world has yet to see. We started as a school, as a flagship middle school 10 years ago that wanted to give students access to the dramatic, media, and culinary arts. But then we recognized that we were going to begin to evolve over time because our students would highlight or identify different areas that they were interested in. And we want to match the needs of our students, of our stakeholders with the solution that sometimes you can't see in traditional public education.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
2, 3, 4.
You get all jazzed up about this new idea.
Good morning again, Miss Fortin. It's Friday.
Science! 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 We are the science! I just don't get it, God!
Might be leaving soon.
How many grievances do they have?
4. I got my 55. I got my 66.
So I think being able to take the interest from our students and the stakeholders across our community as a whole and be able to develop and design programs that would not only match those areas of interest, but to have sustainable change and impact, that's Utopian. And so we see an organization that started as a single site school that is developing into a consortium or a network of schools that will have sustainable impact, not only for those that are employed here, but for those that we look to serve as well. So Utopian Academy for the Arts is a school of choice, and parents choose our school because we're unapologetically everything about the arts. We don't have any admission criteria to enroll students, and because we are true to our core, meaning that we want to give access and opportunities in non-traditional ways for students anywhere from kindergarten to 12th grade through the arts. That's why we're here, that's why we exist, and we want to make sure that our students realize that they can have professional careers once they walk through our doors. So one of the reasons why the arts was really important for us to implement a Utopian is twofold. It's professional and personal experiences. I went to a school of the arts. I went to a school of the arts that had every resource you could think of under the sun. I wanted to pour that into the design and development of this school here, where the arts were completely eliminated across the entire district. So the 5th largest school system in the state of Georgia, the arts were eliminated. I wanted to restore arts education, but also give students access in non-traditional classes that they wouldn't until they would probably get to high school. So those experiences really helped me to really develop the arts as a part of our core programs. And then over time, we recognized that we have a really unique niche at Utopian. We want to align ourselves with what the industry is saying we don't see in traditional public education. And so we begin to expand our course catalog unparalleled to any other school in the state of Georgia.
My name is Lucas Jones. My full name is Lucas Mapenzi Johnny Thomas Jones, and I'm with Miss Byram's fantastic 4th graders. My favorite thing about being a student at Utopian is that I can, when I'm in middle school, I can study different types of arts. Like I can do visual arts, I can do singing, I can also do coding, and I'm in Atlanta Ballet, so that's pretty exciting. So maybe I can continue my journey on that.
My experience is, well, amazing, because when I went to this school, I thought like nobody would really know me and nobody would get to know me like that, but I have tons of friends who are just like me, who are into acting, singing, dancing, and for me, when I came to Utopian, it was just amazing. I've had a lot of confidence throughout the years because I've been dancing since I was 3 and I've been acting since I was about 8 or 9. Like, it's just a whole nother side of me when I go out on stage. I just really want to be a role model for other kids who is into the same things as me.
Okay, raise your hand if you're unsure. Okay, you're unsure. It is forward.
My teaching approach, my teaching philosophy
in my teaching, in my approach to teaching, is very much geared towards my own experience as a professional actor and being in the business. My philosophy is that we try everything, and diversity is never something that we should be ashamed of or embarrassed of. The more diverse your portfolio, or as I like to say, your actor's toolbox, the more tools you have in your toolbox, the more equipped you are, the better that you can work, the more hireable you are for students. So my approach is to give them an overall view of theater, find out at this young age, especially for middle school, what they gravitate towards. They change their mind all the time, and it's okay. Your dreams expire when you do, but you have to be able to dream. So giving them the freedom to dream, the freedom to try different things. And in the world of theater, there's so many different areas that you can go into. So I try to give them an overall view at first, see where they land, and then I push them, guide them towards what the possibilities are within theater for that particular area that they've shown interest in, and then show them where their skill set, even if they're not going to be in theater, where that can benefit them in other things in life.
Girl, you make it hard to say goodbye like deja vu.
So I had an event that I would do every year called Music Soul Child Day, which is basically my birthday, but then it shifted to a different day when I was honored with a day, which I'm very grateful for. And I'm the type of person that I'm not really big on celebrating me, because I do so many things that people, they give me praise and, stuff for. So I would rather, if I have so much attention on me, to use that attention to put it on something I feel could use the attention. So me and Mocha talked and decided maybe, what if we can use that to have that be a day and a platform. And then I found out that the Marjorie Harvey and Steve Harvey Foundation was interested in aligning themselves with that. And one of the benefits of that relationship brought me to Utopian Academy.
Being a student here at Utopian Academy, I think, is a really incredible experience. Here I've grown so much, I've learned so much, just the different impacts that I've had on other people, and just the impacts that other people have had on me, especially the teachers here and the counselors, the principal, the dean. I think being here at Utopian has been such a wonderful experience for me, and I've learned so much.
I love to learn. That's probably my first reason. I love to learn as a teacher, and being a history teacher, I'm always able to learn new things, always able to teach different things, and it's always my personal joy is part of why I love teaching. And I also come from a background of teachers. My mother was a teacher, my grandmother and grandfather were teachers and educators, and education is just something I see of immense value in all of our communities throughout the country. And I like being a teacher because I can do my part and I can continue to learn about my subject and also learn about the students and the communities that I teach in.
There's a lot of things that we have here that another school can't offer. So being here to truly be able to be your authentic self and truly be able to foster the arts is what the school is all about. And not only that, to truly foster education as well. The school is very serious about that. It's an amazing opportunity for people to come in here to learn truly arts, to learn academics, to be able to, show their authentic selves and for them to be who they want to be and who they are.
So what am I like as a teacher in a classroom? I think my teachers, my kids would say, I'm tough, I'm strict, I'm really hard on the rules, and I'm that way because in life we are. I do have a unique setup in my room. I've created a tiny little black box. Outside my classroom, I have what is called a call board. So the students know when they come to my classroom, they check the call board, and I put daily sheets, usually put daily sheets out there, what we're doing in class, what was happening that week, what tongue twisters we're working on, because I've been teaching them IPA to help them with their language. And then they come into class, They, just like any professional actor would have to do, we have to sign in. They take their own attendance by moving push pins by their name to the day, so that then I also take my own attendance, but I'm making them accountable for themselves. And then we have an open floor space, and we have the numbers on the floor, so that when I'm blocking shows, like I'm currently doing, we're blocking shows, I can refer to numbers and everything, so that when they leave my classroom and they go into the industry, there's going to be nothing foreign to them.
So the impact of operating in something that I do all the time with people who don't do it all the time, and you just see the look in their faces when you start putting 1 and 2 together, and it's like, sometimes it gets nostalgic for me, because I remember, you know, the brain blasts that I would have whenever stuff would start to click, and you could see the light in their eyes, and like, yeah, like, you know. So and a lot of the times it's as simple as that. It's just helping them to make the connections that they may not even realize that they're trying to do, because as a young person, you're constantly trying to reconcile with your reality. And as a creative, I can speak firsthand, there's another reality that is unique to that type of psychological and emotional profile that you have to reconcile outside of, you know, a person that doesn't.
Or ones we know from history, like this American Revolution. So give you a couple more minutes to write about that real quick, okay? So my teaching approach is I like to show a lot of my personality. This last few years I've taught Georgia studies, and I'm an Atlanta metro area native, so I get to show what I know about my state and my city, and that's always helpful. And just trying to show students why things are important, why they relate to everyday life. Why is this going to be important in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years is one of the biggest things. Making connections to their everyday lives is one of the biggest things that I believe is part of my philosophy. I try to have fun, but at the same time, I also try to say, hey, this is what you need to learn. And giving students goals and giving them things to focus on, I believe is one of the biggest ways in order to encourage them to do whatever subject that they are interested in at the time.
One of the hardest things that I realized, and it wasn't so much operating or leading a school, it was actually getting the school approved. From 2011 to 2013, we were denied 3 years in a row by our local Board of Education. That was very difficult, understanding that you have a very strong prototype that doesn't exist not only for this community, but across the state of Georgia. Nothing like Utopian exists. And so I recognize that it's really important for these students that live here within our community to have access to something that's different. At the time, there was no development of charter schools in our community, but I wanted to make sure that we had this as a solution, as an option for our students here. And so after being denied 3 years in a row, we were eventually approved at the state level, but no one could prepare us for what will be known as the worst launch of any public school in Georgia history, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. We were denied entry for our students 2 weeks in a row. The best comparison would be Lean On Me. I mean, chains were put on the doors. Our students could not go into school for 2 weeks. We had to file an emergency injunction and temporary restraining order against our city and our school system just so our kids could come to school. And then there will be a year-long series of obstacles and barriers that were put in place that were unpredictable, that really made it very difficult for us, from no signage outside of our school building to to threaten to shut down our food service program, not turning on the heat. These were things that were outside of our school's control, but things that were put in place to try to make our school be unsuccessful in every attempt.
I would say the challenges that I have faced, some of the challenges, not everybody wants to take theater. Not everybody really understands all that theater encompasses. So you have the hesitant students, you have the gung-ho students that are like, yay, I'm in theater and I'm gonna act. And then I go, now we're gonna do tech. And they go, but learning, the challenge has been to find a cohesive way to bring everyone together, make everyone feel included, even those kids that I didn't want to be in theater, but then they get in it and then they I'm not going to be on stage, and then they try it and they branch out, and I see them start to blossom and grow, and then their classmates, their peers, hey, that was good. And so that makes a difference for them in their lives, you know, for that, to find that support?
So the subjects I find the most challenging, for me specifically, is science. Science has always been a struggle for me, whether it's physical science, biology. It's hard for me to understand. And so for me to overcome that, it's usually simple, but it's usually what helps me the most. So I usually write down notes, especially last year when our science teacher, who's now the Dean of Arts, she would tell us specifically what we actually really needed to write down. And sometimes when she'd give us assignments, I would take the notes and everything I got from the assignments, and I'd put them in my notes so that way I'd have them. And every time we do a test, she'd give us some time to study, and I'd work with the other students, and we'd test each other on what we know and what we didn't, so that we can all pass the test. So for me, that was the best way for me to overcome that challenge, and it really helped me because at the end of the day, I passed.
So some of the challenges that I face are that I try to calm down before I do anything and try to think before I make my action. An example of calming myself down, because I get angry pretty easily, so I have to breathe like, and then I can talk about how I'm feeling to them, so that can also help me calm down. Or say that I'm either angry or I'm feeling sad today. That can help me calm down too.
We want to make sure that students that come to our organization are inspired with what we have started with and recognize that there is a place for them here. So one of the things that we see with regards to our students sometimes is that they don't feel like they belong, because there are all these criteria by which a student has to be admitted. So you don't have the test scores, you don't have a recommendation, you don't have the artistic abilities. We take away that approach because as a charter school, we have an unequivocal approach to making sure that everybody has access regardless of prior capabilities. And even more so for our staff, we recognize that this is a unique place that is mission driven. We have a specific purpose. Our rationale, our why is very clear on why we choose to exist. So we want to make sure that if you're mildly interested or keenly interested, make sure that these are reasons why you want to be employed in the school, because we're mission driven. We want to give our students access to high quality. Every student has the ability to achieve and to excel at great levels, academically and artistically. So if you believe in that and you hold true to that, because our expectations won't be lowered, then this is a place for you. So we are attracted to individuals of like-minded attainment that recognize that kids have the ability, students and scholars have the ability to achieve at great levels. And more importantly, as adults, we're going to do our part to make sure that they have better experiences than we had when we were their age.
They take the creative life of young people targetedly serious, more serious than I have found so far, that I know of. I'm not saying that there isn't any other institution out there that doesn't do it, but that I know of. And that resonates with me because I wish I went to a Utopian Academy when I was that age. So I'm sort of living vicariously through these kids by being a representation of the benefits and the potential outcomes of having people being interested in investing in their creative life. Specifically in music, because I have a timeline in history and experience and, you know, and credits to my name in that space, in that field for, you know, we're not gonna count how long. So I feel like I'm authorized, you know, in my own right to speak and expound on this specific topic in music, but the topic of being a creative and finding your voice, you know, whether it's as a musician, as a songwriter, as a music producer or an engineer, as a singer and performer, anything that, you know, helps to unlock that part of you that you already have. And the challenges that come with it personally and professionally, that you can get ahead of in this time of your life, while you're young enough, while you're receptive to sound information and education, and you're able to use your growing up years to develop it.
I think the culture here is really creative. I think if I could describe it, it would be like creative minds think alike. I think it's really just like a family here. Everyone knows everybody because the school is so small, but we're small and mighty, I'd say. I think everybody is just super kind to others, and yeah, I think everybody's really just like creative and has their own little art. When I came here, it was very welcoming. I think for new students or even new teachers, it's very welcoming here. And yeah, I really love it here.
I think the overarching story that Utopian is trying to tell the community is that when it comes to the arts matter in this world. You have to think about the arts are a history. Throughout history, the arts have prevailed. Like when you think about art in general, when you think about Leonardo da Vinci, if I'm not wrong, Michelangelo, when you think about these people, they've created art, they've created amazing things. When you think about people like Beethoven, Bach, and when you think about people like Denzel Washington, when you think about people like Viola Davis, it's amazing about the stories they're able to create with the things that they have. Like, art tells a story. Art helps us escape a reality. It helps us feel things. You know, it's important that we have these things, because without it, I'm not sure where humanity would be now.
They should attend Utopian Academy for the Arts because they want to explore what they want to do in life. What other school can you get 8 different arts? You can have music, fashion, dance, media arts, theater, visual arts, coding. What other school offers such a vast array of an opportunity for a middle school student to explore what they want to be and to learn that the possibilities are endless for you? If you want to explore what an endless opportunity of dreaming about what you could be, and see your teachers actually be the people that you're dreaming to be, that's why you come to Utopian Academy for the Arts.
I think somebody should come to Utopian Academy because, again, like I said, it's super, super welcoming here. As soon as I came here, I was able to make friends. People were just like coming up to me, asking me my name, things like that. I think the environment here is so welcoming, so creative, so comfortable. I think kind of everywhere you go, it's just like a safe space for you to be your authentic and wonderful yourself.
She'll describe it as this wonderful place, like in heaven, or like in a dream when you just can't like go back to that place, and it was like it's just a place that I can't explain. But this Utopian Academy for the Arts, if you do what I do, you should definitely come here because it's amazing. It has way more opportunities like right now, and it's just, I can't even word it.
Why should they consider going to Utopian Academy? Because they really care. It's one thing I kept noticing and kept resonating with me. The staff, the faculty, they really care. It's as if, you know, that they're all children, you know, of the parents of Utopian Academy. Because you have to focus so much attention on something that, you know, in a lot of ways just comes across not so essential, you know. Yeah, who cares about the creative life of a child, right? But they have established a whole institution that's specifically dedicated to that. You have to care because you're not doing it for the money. You're not doing it for the fame. You're doing it because you care about the quality of life of these young people. So I would say that's the main reason why you should at least consider it, because you have a network of people that are dedicated to flesh out the natural inherent abilities of your child. You have these people who are specialists in drawing that out like anything else. You know, you can love and want all you want for your children. It's another thing when you are specifically skilled at navigating those spaces with a group of them, you know, to assist them all to arrive to the finish line as, you know, as adequately as possible. I say, you know, to myself a lot of times, damn, I wish I had this, you know, growing up. I wish I went through this process, you know, when I was that age. So to at least be a part of it is a blessing that I'm very, very grateful for.
So when people think about utopian, I want you to think about the root word utopia. That's that ideal place of social perfection. There's no perfect school, but there's a school that aims for excellence in every single thing that it does, a place that people say, hey, I have pride in saying this is where I work. This is where I send my children to school. That's that unique place that we believe really makes us home and whole. And more importantly, I think that because we've been around for 10 years and we've been able to show that, look, this is what we're able to do in this short amount of time with these amount of students. Imagine what that can mean when we have even more greater access to Utopian for the larger masses that are interested. So we have this saying at Utopian, we are unique, we're Utopian, because there's nothing that is parallel to what we offer at our school. And we also believe that Utopian is a place where young creatives belong. Irregardless of what your background may have been with regards to the arts, we help you discover talents that many of our students didn't know that they had, and to be able to see them blossom, to see them have professional careers in elementary, middle, or high school is something that's truly phenomenal. And Utopian is the birthplace to where a lot of these careers and a lot of this inspiration begins.
We are unique, we are utopian.
Have a plan. I was messing up all the time, always going missing. I didn't listen, couldn't get it right. I learned my lesson.